guest of honor today. On behalf of our Francis Xavier Engineering College and my own behalf, I welcome Mr. Shanti Mohan ma'am, Advisor Education USA, to handle the session. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Jnana Saravanan, and also Dr. Jayakumar for giving us this opportunity. In this higher education session today, I'm joined by my colleagues from Illinois Institute of Technology, Mr. Sri Kumar Panyam, and from University of Massachusetts Lowell, Mr. Pralhad Marilahalli. All three of us will be presenting the session today. And I think before I continue with the session, I will mute my video and I will start the presentation for a better reception. Thank you, everyone, and have a great morning, and let's go through the session now. I hope my screen is visible to everyone who are there right now. If you can just put a, yeah, thank you. Okay. So I'm Shanti Mohan and I work as an Education USA advisor. Education USA is the official source on US higher education, and we are supported by the US government. So I would also like to introduce my other colleague, Aparna Chandrasekharan, who is supposed to be joining us today in the session, but unfortunately she's not around. Both of us work at the Education USA Chennai Center as advisors, and for any information on US higher education, you can always connect with us. So moving on, about Education USA, I would like to share a quick note. We are supported by the US State Department. In other words, it's the US government. Our mandate is to offer accurate, comprehensive, current information on US higher education to aspiring international students like you. In supporting this mission, we have more than 430 plus centers across the world in 170 plus countries. And in India alone, we have 7 centers, and the centers are located at Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Mumbai, and New Delhi. These 5 centers function under a binational entity called US India Educational Foundation, which manages the Fulbright fellowships in India. There are 2 independent centers, one at Bengaluru managed by Yashna Trust, and the other one at Ahmedabad managed by Indo-American Educational Society. The current generation like you are very familiar with hashtags and a lot of these acronyms. I'm sure all of you know what is the hash DYK stands for. So this is a snippet of information that I would like to share with you to make you understand what is the scenario of international students in the US. So currently, if you look at, there are more than 10 lakh plus international students pursuing their higher education in the US. And out of them, near to 20% are from India. Every year, this number keeps increasing, and some of you might be adding to this number for the forthcoming years. So how these people achieved this mission of studying in the US? So we advocate at Education USA, we advocate 5 steps to US study, which enables an international student to seamlessly go through their process of application to US universities and begin a successful career in the US. If you look at that, the picture shows that a student must start this process close to 18 months prior to studying in a US institution. To give you an example, let's say that if you want to do your master's, say from next year in the US, you have to start this process as early as February of this year. So for a session in 2021 September, you will start the process from February 2020. So what are these steps and why one should start early is what we will be seeing in this presentation. The step one is researching your options. If you look at the US, in the US, there are more than 4,700 plus accredited institutions, and you're absolutely spoiled for choices. So to find out the university that best fit your requirement, you would definitely need nothing less than 3 to 4 months, or at least sometimes 6 months, to find out the best fit universities, why they suit your requirement. And to conduct such research, it takes some time, definitely. And when you're doing that process, alongside, you will also look for, are there any funding opportunities available for you? When I talk about funding, most of the time, even before beginning the research, the first thing the student asks us is, do I get a scholarship to study in the US? So the very name scholarship, I'm sure all of you are aware, it's more driven towards your academics as well as several other achievements. So when you're actually looking for scholarship, you should also do an assessment of your profile and see how competitive you are to receive such scholarship. So apart from scholarship, there are other things that we have to take a look at is like, how am I going to be supported in this funding for US institution? How much my family can afford? What are the other external sources that can give me this funding support? It can be educational loan, or it can be from an institution which offers scholarships to students who want to pursue their higher education outside of India. So you have to assess the various means by which you can support your education. And once you do these two steps, the third step, by the time you step into that, you will have a clear idea or list of institution to which you will be sending your application. And the third step completely involves preparing a stellar application or a very competitive application to the US universities. Once you complete your step three, you will be hearing decisions. If you want to travel to US for your higher education, you have to apply for a US student visa. And once your US student visa is approved, the final step is to prepare to leave the country. So preparation is just not accomplished. Okay, the step one, research your option. This is where you identify universities that best fit your requirements. We always recommend, if you are not too sure how to understand what's your requirement, we recommend you to visit our website, educationusa.state.gov, and there is a define your priorities worksheet. By answering the questions given in the worksheet and revisiting the answers will give them a clarity on what are your utmost priorities that you should be considered while selecting institution. So this is a snapshot view of the most common priorities the student would have when they work on shortlisting universities. For all of us, the first and foremost priority is the program of your choice. Say, suppose if you want to do your master's in, let's say, construction management. If that university is not going to have a program related to civil engineering, structural engineering, or a project management or a construction management, it is no point in choosing that university as one of your one of your choices, right? So the first and foremost that you have to look for is that university offering my program, reputation of the university, or in terms accreditation status of the universities. To give you an understanding of accreditation, in India, you know that any institution which is not accredited by AICTE is, if a degree is awarded by them, is not recognized, right? So similar to that, in the US, there are several accrediting agencies, and university has to be accredited by one of those agencies and should be listed in the Department of Education's website. Only then they become an accredited institution. Then comes the acceptance rate. Say, suppose if 100 students are applying to the university, how many of them are basically accepted by the university? Sometimes for students, the size of the institution also matters. A lot of people don't prefer to be in a crowded place. They want to be in a place where the classroom size is just 15 students to one teacher, I'm sorry, one professor. So the interaction is much better. The professor knows everyone by name. So considering these things, you may also keep size of the institution or the department as one of your priorities while choosing the institution. Then comes the faculty profile, affordability of education. What are the research facilities available in that institution? Even though you may be applying for your master's program, you would still want to experience doing research in that institution. Sometimes students can also apply for a PhD, direct PhD program after completing their bachelor's. So in either case, having a research as one of your priority is of utmost importance. Geographical location, it always doesn't matter, but it matters at times depending on your choice of subject. Then comes the least preference, I would say the housing, campus setting, climate and other things, because when you are taking a step forward to an international education, the first and foremost thing that you should always keep in mind is to come out of your comfort zone. So you are in a exploration mode, but explore the things for the right reasons, and don't keep a location or the weather as one of the primary priorities. Of course, if you have some health related issues, or if you need some accommodations and other things, then you should keep in mind about the campus setting and climate. But by and large, what I would always recommend student is come out of your comfort zone and be explorative in nature. Okay, I was telling you about the accreditation and about presenting in the database of Department of Education. So please note that this website is very, very important, ope.ed.gov. If you go there, you will find this database of accredited post-secondary institutions and programs. So you can punch in the name of the university for which you want to check the accreditation status. And if you click the search button, it will give the entire accreditation details about the university. And again, how do I conduct my research? So we all know Google is the most sought after thing, but for these sort of more specific searches, there are several dedicated search engines available. So we would recommend you to go through them for searching universities. So Peterson's is one such thing, international student, gradschools.com, PhD portals, find MBA if in case you're going for a MBA program. So these are all some most popular search engines available that helps you to do search based on your priorities. So which means there are a lot of filters plugged into these websites. So using these filters, you would be able to find universities that at least 60% matches your requirement, subsequent to which you dwell deep into the university website to get the right information and ensure that they matches almost all your parameters. Okay. Now that you have, let's say, a list of institution, we step on to the step 2, which is your financing studies. So to understand about the financing studies, first of all, you need to have a budget in mind and then compare the cost of education specified in that institution. If both matches, that means they well fit into your shoes, and that could be one of the reason that you are selecting that institution. Sometimes what happens, they may not really tally with your pie to pie budget, but at the same time, the university must be talking about lot of supports that available in terms of offering, let's say, a work study for the student, or scholarship for the student, or for maybe a loan for the student. So read through the financial aid and scholarships given in the university websites before assessing whether they really fit into your budget. So the best website that I would say is educationusa.state.gov. If you go here under the 5 steps to US study, finance your studies graduate section, you will find links to several funding resources. So this is one great way to understand apart from the financial aid or scholarship support that is offered by the institution of your choice, there are several other third-party agencies which offer funding resources to students. So I always recommend go through these links, and you may find several organizations that support international students. Apart from them, there are many Indian organizations that support you in this process, like say Mahindra and Mahindra. There are Tata scholarships, there is Narottam Sekshoria scholarship. And if you want to have a list of third-party institutions in India and outside of India that supports international students for higher education, please write an email to chennai@educationusa.org. We will be more than happy to share that information with you. Coming back to what is the cost of education, there are two components to this. One is the tuition and fees, which you pay towards your education. The other one is living costs. Looking at these two categories, we have specified here a ballpark figure of 35,000 US dollar, which is more or less the amount that you will be spending per year for your education. Most of the master programs are either for 1 year, 1.5 years, or 2 years, and they are not beyond that. Again, this is just an indication. There are still universities which are offering much lesser than what we have specified here and much higher than what we have specified here. So, as I told you in the beginning, as a student, it is your responsibility to assess where do you stand in terms of your financial capability, and then choose those institutions to begin your application process. The living cost most of the time will be a variable one, in the sense the accommodation the student choose, whether it is within the campus or off campus, all these things decides how much is going to be your living cost. But the tuition and fees is more or less going to be based on number of credits that you will be studying in a semester. Sometimes it can be what do you call a defined amount, but sometimes it depends on say for 5 credits there will be one fixed amount, and for any extra credits that you may take, there will be additional money levied on that. So to get a better understanding, maybe my fellow speakers, when they talk about their universities, they will give you an idea about the tuition fees and living costs. So you will get a better clarity on that. And again, this cost of attendance most of the time also depends on location of the university, and if the university is going to be in let's say an urban setup, obviously it will be a little more higher than a university which is set up in a rural area. I think as we progress in the presentation, we can discuss more about all these things. Please keep your questions reserved and keep posting them if you already have them with you, so that we will be able to address them at the end of our presentation. Okay. So we were also talking about what are the various sources of funding. So the family comes always the first, and then comes the scholarships that are awarded by the universities, which are absolutely dependent on your profile. Then the on-campus work, which is usually allowed for 20 hours per week for all international students. And there are two categories of on-campus works, which is like there may be one which you do when you're enrolled in the university, and the other one which is after you complete your program, which you can do outside of the campus as well. So this OPT stands for optional practical training, which is usually an entitlement all the students get after completing their master's program. And this OPT allows you to work in an external organization which is approved by the university as well as by the US government as what we call as a e-verified organization. And you will be working there as on a student status, but as an employee of that organization. The CPT stands for curricular practical training, which is like when you are doing your master's program, your curriculum may demand a practical experience, which could be a semester long or a quarter long. Depending on that, you will be either working on organizations, or sometimes the CPT could be within the campus, either in your own department, or if you're going for an interdisciplinary program, it could be in 2 other departments as well. The on-campus work, when you talk about, there are 3 categories of them. One is like a research assistantship, which is awarded to you to conduct research under the guidance of a professor working in his or her lab. Then comes teaching assistantship. This is like shadowing the professor when he or she has a large load of work. They may offload certain things like grading a paper or taking classes for the undergraduate students. That is what we mean by teaching assistantship. And then a general graduate assistantship, which could be like working in a department, assisting in the admission process, or even working in a department, building their website, or it can be any kind of work, but that's something related to the skill sets that you already possess. So all these sort of assistantships are on available basis only, and to grab them, a student should be more proactive. And as soon as you get an admission from the university, you should be connecting with the professors or with the international student office, or with even your some of the seniors who may be already studying in that university, to understand about these opportunities for you. Finally, the external sources of funding, which could be from agencies and foundations. USIF is one such foundation which offers funding for students through the Fulbright program. But Fulbright program offers funding for master students on a selection basis, which is very, very competitive. There is a student who possesses more than 3 to 4 years of strong work experience in the related field of study for which he wants to apply in the US universities. I think I can talk more about it if there is a specific question about someone wants to know about Fulbright funding. Okay. So I have already explained about the fellowships, which is like scholarship needs your total merit, and depends on the strength of your application. And it sometimes covers all the expenses, including your living cost towards the thing. And this is about the graduate administrative assistantship and the research assistantship, which I already spoke about. So whichever assistantship you take, it's always 20 hours per week. And this is about the teaching assistantship. I think we have already spoken about it, so I'm just showing this slide for you to just have a quick recap on them. And finally, the various resources that you can resort to identify the right funding sources. Okay. At the end of step 3, at the end of step 2, we have a handful of universities to which we are definitely going to send our applications. So if you look at this, by the summer of 2020, which means ideally by this June, July, you should have finished taking your GRE. And I'm sure many of you are familiar with the GRE and GMAT exam. GRE is the graduate record examination, which is required by most of the institutions in the US for qualifying for a master's program, and GMAT is for qualifying for an MBA program. If you look at the application forms will be mostly open by August of 2020 for admission to a session which is beginning in fall 2021 September. There is something called a priority deadline. That is, if a student wants to apply early to an institution, the early application deadlines can begin anywhere from October, and it can go on up to November 30th. So the advantage of applying early is that your probability for getting admission and as well as for selection for scholarship would be much more. But of course, it doesn't guarantee that you will definitely get an admission or a scholarship, but the probability increases. And if you look at the regular or the final deadline, usually begins from December and it goes up to Jan, and sometimes there are institutions where the deadlines go up to March, April as well. So depending on wherever you are in the preparation level, you can either choose to apply by the early deadlines, or you can apply by the regular deadlines, which go up to March. But if you look at in between, you need to prepare the several application components during the month of September and November, so that you are ready to apply to the institution starting from December onwards. The next slide will show you what we mean by a typical application package. The application package, of course, you're going to apply always online. So it consists of an application form and an application fee. Some universities also give waiver on application fee based on certain criteria, or sometimes it could be that for any student applying to their institution, they may give a application fee waiver. Then comes mark sheets or academic transcripts. So if you're applying when you're in your 4th year of engineering, you would be presenting up to 6 semester mark sheets, and sometimes the student may have their 7th semester also to submit. Then your scores from the GRE or GMAT. GRE subject tests are recommended if in case you are planning to change your field of study. Say for a student who is currently studying mechanical engineering, has more keen interest towards computer science, and during all the 3 years of the mechanical engineering, alongside mechanical engineering program, they've also done something related to, let's say, mechatronics or automation. They may qualify to apply for a say computer science program or a related program in the US. Or let's say that a student who is interested in who is currently doing in chemical engineering wants to do a PhD in chemistry. So to support that, his subject knowledge is more stronger in the field that he wants to apply for a master's or a PhD program, they can take a relevant GRE subject there. Some universities recommend that the GRE subject helps them to understand the subject knowledge of the student if they are changing their field of study. But some universities may still accept you without the GRE subject also. So this is where your dwelling deep into the university website is highly recommended. English, some universities may even offer GRE as optional one for you, but English proficiency becomes mandatory for any international students who are planning to apply to a higher education. So you can choose any of these English proficiency exam. All of them carry equal weightage, but only thing is you have to check the university website before choosing which English proficiency exam you wish to undergo. 3 letters of recommendations are always required by most of the universities. Letters of recommendation has to come from your faculty, which will highlight your skill sets and your knowledge and capability to do certain activities so that the university can understand well about a student profile. Application essays are statement of purpose, and letters of recommendation, I would say they complement each other. Statement of purpose is written by a student stating why he or she wants to go for a master's education, what is their future goal, and how they think this education is going to help them achieve that goal, and what have they done in their undergrad education to substantiate their move towards the master's education. So whatever a student talk about their project, their paper publishing or their internship or even field visits or sometimes their academic accomplishments, everything is equally supported by the letters of recommendation written by the professors. So that's why I said that they complement each other. Some universities, apart from the statement of purpose, may also ask you for a personal statement to understand your personality, or sometimes the diversity statement to understand about the community you have been coming from, or how you will fit into a diverse community in the US university, and how can you contribute to a diverse community. So these sort of statements are sometimes always not mandatory, and it also depends on the university. If you are, let's say, applying for a design program, or say you are an architecture student and you want to go for a design concepts in the US, or you are interested in a product design, some universities also look for a portfolio. So the portfolio most of the time is digital portfolio, and please ensure that you cover all that's required and you're able to present a very concrete portfolio to the university to know more about you. And resume, I'm sure all of you are already preparing one for placement and stuff, but have a very crisp one-page resume so that will help you to project your achievements as well. Some universities may call you for an interview, which is always optional, but if they call for, be prepared for that as well. From bachelor's, if you're planning to apply for a direct PhD program, we also require that you keep a proof of research capabilities and a good writing sample, which is like a research synopsis. Financial documents, some universities may ask you for a financial documents to help them understand how you plan to support your education along with your application, but they may be very few in number. Most of the time, after getting an admission is when universities would ask you for a financial document to understand how you plan to fund your education. To help you in this mission, we recommend you to visit our Education USA India YouTube channel, where we have a curated list of graduate studies videos, which gives you a detailed information on how to write SOPs, how to prepare your resume, how to shortlist universities. Everything and anything I so far discussed are all available in the form of videos for you. And most of these videos are presented by university representatives, and some of them are presented by advisors like me. So with these three steps, at the end of the third step, you will receive admissions from, let's say, more than 3 universities. Suppose if you are applying to 7 universities, you may get admission in all 7 of them, or 3 of them, or 4 of them. Whatever it may be, at the end of the day, you are going to continue your education only with one single university. So before you go through the student visa application process, you must finalize that one university where you want to go for your higher education. So once you identify that university, you will receive an admission decision from them in the form of a document called I-20. Apart from the email communications that you get from the university stating that you have been admitted in the institution, this official I-20 form is the one which represents confirmed admission in that institution. And also, this is the one which is going to make you a legitimate and legal student in the US. So prior to going for a US student visa, you must have your I-20 from that university on hand, and then you will prepare a visa application. After applying for a visa, there are 2 fees that you have to pay. One is called a Student Exchange Visitor Information System fee, or what we call as a SEVIS fee, which is required for you to register as a international student in the US. So the SEVIS fee is $350, and you will be paying through this fmjfee.com website. After paying the SEVIS fee, you will get a receipt, and that is also mandatory for your visa application. And once you get that SEVIS fee receipt, the next step is to pay the visa fees, which is $160. And once you pay your visa fee, only then you will be allowed to schedule an appointment through these 2 websites. So the ustraveldocs.com is the website through which you book an appointment for your FM student visa interview. And prior to that, you have to fill this DS-160 application form, which will take in all your personal information, the information of the institution you are going to study in the US, about your family, about your education. And once you submit this and then you fix an appointment, you will have 2 appointments that you need to schedule. The first appointment is biometrics, which will just verify the documents that you need to take for the interview, and it will capture your fingerprint and things like that. And after that, you will have a personal interview with a visa officer, with an American officer, and that interview will last for about anywhere from 1 minute to 1.5 minutes. And during that 1.5 minutes, they will ask you questions that relates to proving yourself to be a legitimate student in the international student in the US. So I'm not going to elaborate much on those things, because we have exclusive sessions on visa application and everything. So I encourage all of you to sign up with our database so that you get intimations about these sessions. Finally, once your visa is through and it's time that you prepare for your departure, so you gather all the important documents before going, which includes your academic transcripts, your passport, your I-20, your SEVIS fee receipts, plus in many other documents like immunization records. All that is required to be collected before leaving the country, and you need to book your accommodation and help you understand what are the other things that you need to be prepared. Education USA also conducts a pre-departure orientation, and finally you need to make all your travel arrangements to go to the US. So at the end of the 5 steps, which is like about a 12 to 18 months journey, your higher education at the US begins. To make you understand this in a better way, I'm also projecting here a timeline which also identifies the respective dates. So this is for the 2021 I have presented here. You have to just extrapolate if in case you are planning to say go to US in 2022, you have to start the process in 2021 onwards. And it's not that you should only start the process 18 months prior to that. To get a better purview of this education, you can even start the process as early as your second year onwards. Now we know we are all in the pandemic and all the sessions, everything is virtual. I'm sure all of you are attending your classes virtually. So to help students like you, Education USA is also offering all our sessions and advising virtually. And these are our wonderful advisors all around India who are there to help you with whatever questions you have related to higher education in the US. And we also have an All India calendar. You could visit this link to get the sessions done across India. So feel free to register yourself for any session that you are interested in attending. These are the 7 centers. And as I mentioned at the beginning, you can sign up for our database as well. So to cater to the Gen Z, we are available in all the social media channels. So connect with us in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And also we have a mobile app with have all the information on your fingertips. And it's available both in Google Play and App Store. And these are the contact details of the various Education USA centers in India. And we also have a national toll-free line number, which is operational from Monday to Friday. So you could even call that if you have any queries to address. And your nearest center is Chennai, and I'm from the Chennai Center. So the email ID is chennai@educationusa.org. You can also connect with us through this 9500084773, which is a WhatsApp number. If you want to get added to our WhatsApp group, please send us a message so that we also intimate about sessions through the WhatsApp channel. Okay. So that's the end of my presentation. I think I overate a little bit of time and I'm so sorry about it. So I'm going to take, say, less than 5 minutes to introduce our presenters for today from Illinois Institute of Technology. In short, I would say this is the IIT in USA. So let's have a quick look at Mr. Srikumar Panyam, Director of India Operations. Srikumar, you can have your video on, please, while and set up your presentation while I stop sharing my screen. And I will read out about your
Sure.
presentation here.
Hi, everyone. I'm sure you're able to hear me and see me too.
Yeah, I'm going to give a quick introduction about Srikumar. Give me a second, please. Srikumar Panyam represents Illinois Institute of Technology in India in the capacity of Director of India Operations. Srikumar is on a mission to help aspiring students and build their futures. He is trained as an operations person, clubbed with considerable amount of sales and marketing experience. He has a unique 20-year background in communications, elegant leadership, and management of multi-million-dollar development projects, strategic planning, and business development, which provides students like you with unique advantages in molding your future into a profitable and successful one. He has helped thousands of such students in making their dream come true by hand-holding them to carve their path and pave their way to their future. He is very passionate about speaking to students like you, and he can also help you enroll into a master's degree of your choice. And I have personally heard Srikumar talking, and he's one of those interesting personalities. So over to you, Srikumar, for the presentation.
Thank you so much, Shanti. That was a wonderful introduction. Very good morning to all of you hearing this webinar. Let me just quickly share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see the screen. I'm sure you're able to see the screen now. All right, so welcome all of you to my presentation about Illinois Institute of Technology. We are based out of Chicago. We are a private technology-focused research university offering undergrad, graduate, and PhD level programs for students. We are established way back in 1890, and since then we've been in the education field. And that's me. Shanti has already given you a wonderful introduction about me. There's nothing else that I personally want to talk about. However, what we want to stress today is something very interesting for all the students looking for either spring or fall of 2021 or even any other forthcoming semesters. Shanti has clearly mentioned all the 5 steps that are involved in starting a US education. I am not going to stress on all of them, but I am bringing you an offer today from Illinois Institute of Technology. As Shanti said, we are popularly called as the IIT of Chicago or IIT of United States. So Shanti clearly mentioned all the 5 steps. I'm not going to talk about all the 5 steps, but I'm today going to give you an offer on how easy it is to make an application to Illinois Institute of Technology, and how easy it is to get an instant decision on your application. That's what I'm going to talk to you about. The offer that I'm going to talk about is called On-Spot Provisional Admission Session. But even before we go to that, let me tell you what punctuates Illinois Tech graduate experience. As I initially said, we are based out of Chicago, and we are called Chicago's only tech-focused university. So you will find skyscrapers to startups. We have fueled the city's rise as a global metropolis. What you'll find at Illinois Institute of Technology is opportunity and value. We give you the best return on investment in the state and among the best in the United States. All the pictures that you're looking at right now are all from the campus. So please make sure you enjoy most of the campus experience while you're seeing the pictures here. Illinois Tech believes in active learning. So our students learn not just by classroom sessions, but also by creating, inventing, and solving real world problems. So as Shanti has given you an overall picture of why you should study in US, I am going to talk about why you should study in Chicago. Chicago, one of my favorite cities in the US, is the 3rd biggest city in the United States. And there are every reason to go into Chicago and study at Illinois Institute of Technology. It's number 1 among the best large cities in the United States. That's what Condé Nast Traveler Reader's Choice Awards has ranked it. It's the 7th most flourishing tech ecosystem. That's good news for many of the tech students who might be listening to my webinar today. It's the 10th city for tech careers as per the CIO magazine, and it is number 1 in Illinois. Illinois Tech basically is number 1 in Illinois for earning potential. So from medicine to financial markets, and from high-tech startups to nonprofits, Chicago provides you countless opportunities. So that's a very interesting reason why you should choose Illinois Institute of Technology and Chicago as your place for the next 2 years. Chicago has got a diverse range of intellectual and professional pursuits. So Chicago offers students unparalleled environment for study. It's also home to 35 Fortune 500 companies and 100 plus startups and incubators. And 34% women-owned startups are available in Chicago. The life in Chicago is very interesting. You've got it's a city that's go anywhere, do anything type of a city. So you are most welcome to define your own experience while you are there for the next 2 years during your masters at Chicago. The community, it sums up to Midwestern nice Chicago jive. It's a very friendly community. It's also Chicago is also a thriving tech ecosystem, and with global giants like Google, Grubhub, Boeing, Orbitz having their second head offices in the Chicago area. Also very interesting. It's just about 4 miles away. Illinois Institute of Technology is just about 4 miles away from the downtown. And the campus is termed as 1 of the 200 most important works of architecture in the United States by the American Institute of Architects, and that's what makes it very interesting. It's a welcoming community on campus. It allows you to set your presence, and some more reasons why you should be joining Illinois Institute of Technology or Illinois Tech or IIT Chicago. All the names mean one. Um, you will find a community of people who actually share the same excellence and passion for discovery. More than half of Illinois their home. What does this mean? This means a lot of diverse student body that you will find here. As a student on the world-class campus, you will be working alongside renowned faculty, and you will have freedom to apply your education to real-world problems. And that's what we inspire each and every student to actually work on. And you will experience this diversity. Exceptionally smart graduate students and faculty actually drive you to rethink the known. So what is the result of rethinking the known? It brings you new ideas, and it brings innovation into the world. And as a result, our graduate alumni have changed the course of human history. So some of the noteworthy alumni are the inventor of cell phone, Marty Cooper, who has actually changed the world. All of you must be holding one cell phone or the other. Pentium 486 invention team, Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Amazon Alexa, Rohit Prasad, the vice president and the inventor of Amazon Alexa. These are some of our students who made history. And why you should go into Illinois Tech. Shanti somewhere in our presentation talked about the student and faculty ratio. So as you can see on the screen, we have close to 3,000 undergrads on campus, about 5,000 graduate students from different parts of the world. The student to faculty ratio is 12:1. This ensures individual attention to all the students available. The campus has representation from all the 50 states of United States of America. The campus has students from over 100 countries of the world, and our retention rate is close to 91%. Let me quickly give you a glance at what are all the colleges that are available under Illinois Institute of Technology. Armour College of Engineering, anything and everything related to engineering is taught here. Lewis College of Science and Letters, this covers all humanities and science related programs. College of Computing is an exclusive college only for computer science, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, computational decision science, and many other fields relating to computers. Stewart School of Business, in fact, Stewart School of Business is the only tech school inside, only business school inside a technology school in Chicago. We also have a law school called Chicago Kent College of Law, and an architecture school and a design school. So these are our schools. And now let us quickly understand what happens after you graduate. So what are the career outcomes for all these students? This would be interesting for many, many students who are actually viewing this particular presentation, because at the end of 2 years, you're most likely to hit a job. So within 6 months of graduation, a vast majority of our graduates were employed full-time in their intended fields. Some of the companies that have recruited are seen on your screen. We have close to 200 companies. I was not able to put all of them here. Some of the top employees are given here: Google, Amazon, Deloitte, Intel, Qualcomm, TCS, Motorola, etc. The average or the mean salary that our graduating students get is about $71,688 per annum. Most of our students are employed within Illinois, and some of the students choose to be employed outside Illinois, but well within United States. So 97% students all get employed within the United States itself. I'm very proud to present some of our alum. As we speak right now, we have close to 75,000 live alumni, but I will not be able to touch all the alumni here because of the time constraints. Marty Cooper was the inventor of cell phones, invented magnetic recording. Ed Kaplan invented barcodes, which we use on a daily basis, and many, many other inventions. Some of the Indian alumni who have made us proud: Jamshid Godrej, chairman of Godrej Industries; Sanjay Kirloskar, managing director, Kirloskar Industries; G.V. Prasad, the chairman, Dr. Reddy Labs; Rajiv Chandrasekhar, he's the current member of parliament from Bangalore constituency. He is also the part of the Pentium 486 invention team. N. Srinivasan, managing director of India Cements, also the owner of Chennai Super Kings. Ankur Jain, founder Bira 91 Beer. Sam Petruda, former advisor to Prime Minister of India. Rohit Prasad, the vice president and the head scientist at Amazon. Some of the very well-known alumni. As I said, we have close to 75,000 live alumni, and we invite all of you to add your names to it once you graduate from Illinois Institute of Technology. The next slide is very clear. What is the application process? See, I'm going to talk to you today about two ways of applying. One way is what is seen on your screen. You just have to go and make a normal application as an international student. As an international student, you will be expected to submit your transcripts or mark sheets, 8 individual semester-wise mark sheets if you're already a graduate. We also allow students in the final year to apply. In general terms, we accept GRE, GMAT, TOEFL, and the other test scores. Letters of recommendation, statement of purpose are all accepted in the general scenario. These are all the application checklists. So I'm also going to talk about some of the waivers and the on-spot provisional admission session that we have. These are very level. So to apply to Illinois Institute of Technology, you just need an application with an application fee of $100. Academic documents are, you will have to give us your 8 individual semester-wise mark sheets. Students in the final year also can apply. Professional statement is what is required, what is expected out of you. We also require a resume, 2 letters of recommendation, and academic test scores, GRE, GMAT. If you are already ready, you can send it to our institution code 1318. Once you're admitted, you just need to submit your financial support documents, which show the proof of funding and living expenses for the next few years that you're going to be on the United States land. And then you'll also have to submit the passport identity copy just to make sure that your details match your records. So this is the general application process. The university intake, we have 3 intakes, the spring intake, the summer intake, and the fall intake. The spring and the fall are the 2 intakes where you have a lot of Indian students applying. There is always an application deadline and a priority deadline. All applications coming in before the priority deadline are automatically qualified for scholarships. There are other dates mentioned here, but we will move forward because I just want to stress on what the offer is today for Francis Xavier students. Well, this is the offer. We are coming up because of the fluid situation, the current pandemic situation that we are all in. Illinois Institute of Technology is proud to bring in the virtual on-spot provisional admission session for master's degree aspirants. So what is virtual on-spot provisional admission session? See, the decision here is instant. The application is very easy. There are hundreds of waivers and scholarships and housing scholarships that are available. So that's what makes it very interesting. If you are a student in the final year, also you are eligible to apply. So all that you need to do is submit an application, receive intimation from us through email, and you can meet our faculty virtually for a one-on-one interview and get admitted on the spot. It is technically that very simple. Let us understand how that is done. To get admitted on the spot during the provisional admission session, which is going to happen virtually in the month of November, all students in the final year who have completed their 6 semesters are eligible to apply. Also, students who graduated or ready to graduate are also eligible to apply. So you have an option to apply for more than one program. For example, a student who's eagerly looking for an admission can apply through this particular application URL. Please make sure you note the application URL which is given on the screen. It's your gateway for an instant decision. You can get multiple waivers as an applicant during the on-spot provisional admissions, and also get tuition and housing scholarships that allow you to save a lot of money. So what we do here, these are some of the documents that are required. So I presume all of you are, 4-year bachelor's degree holders or students in the final year. So if you are a student in the final year, the documents that we expect out of you are 6 individual semester-wise mark sheets, GRE and GMAT scores. If you have given, it's okay. If you have not appeared for a test, we are happy to waive it. If you have given the scores, our institution code is 1318. That's where you need to send it. And we need a resume. If you are a student who has already graduated, we require 8 individual semester-wise mark sheets, your degree or the pass certificate, to actually assess your application. So there are many waivers that we have given during this pandemic situation. TOEFL, IELTS are waived off for all the Indian students who have completed 16 years of formal education with English as a medium of instruction. GRE, GMAT, owing to the current pandemic situation, we have waived it off. All students applying for the on-spot provisional admissions automatically get qualified for an $100 application fee waiver. Letters of recommendation and statement of purpose are waived off. The reason why we are, this is a very important document, but the reason why we are waiving it off is because you get an opportunity to meet our faculty one-on-one, virtually, of course, and discuss your candidature. And that's why we do not require letters of recommendation during the on-spot provisional admission session. The statement of purpose is also waived off. So what it takes to complete this form, it's a 2-page document that you need to fill. So you need to complete all sections in page 2 and upload your supporting documents. Please note that if you have already applied for an admission at Illinois Institute of Technology, please do not
Sorry for the inconvenience caused. Shanti ma'am?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's audible. Can you coordinate with our guest speaker and ask what's the issue?
Oh, yeah, I've just messaged him. I'm just waiting for it.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. The second screen.
We'll go ahead with our second guest today so that after he finishes, maybe.
Yeah, of course, ma'am, of course.
Yeah, 1 second.
I think he's getting connected, ma'am.
Yeah, he's getting connected. That's what he is. Just give him a couple of minutes, maybe.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, in the meantime, I request all the students to keep posting their questions on the chat box or the Q&A box so that our presenters can answer some of your questions, or if there is any general questions, even I can answer that for you. So we've been hearing Sri Kumar from Illinois Institute of Technology talking about his institution. So at this point, before he joins us, I just have a few things to mention. So in the US, there are the major category of institutions are private universities and public universities. So in today's session, IIT is a private institution and UMass Lowell is the public institution. I think Sri Kumar is back and maybe we will have him complete the presentation. Sri Kumar, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. I'm very sorry for
Yeah.
this unexpected, kind of technical glitch. But yes, as we were talking of this wonderful offer that we have, the on-spot provisional admission session, we are looking at meeting our students one-on-one virtually, and this is going to happen in the month of November. Students from sixth semester, that is, students who have completed sixth semester also are eligible to apply. Students who have graduated with a BE or BTech can also apply. And the wonderful part of it is this form is very simple. It asks you for your first name, last name, date of birth, gender, and you should choose which country you are coming from, your citizenship status as India, and then the dates for the Indian on-spot provisional admissions is displayed. You just need to leave your simple address, city name, and some of the other information that's required. These are the dates on which the on-spot provisional admission sessions are going to happen. This will allow the student an opportunity to meet our faculty on a one-on-one basis. And not just that, your admission decision is instant. So you will be able to know if you are admitted or not admitted instantly. Apart from that, you are also eligible for a host of scholarships up to about $10,000 on your tuition and fee, and about $4,000 on housing. So these scholarships are available during these 4 days when our faculty is going to meet you for a 20-minute session one-on-one. 9th November to 12th November, please remember the dates for which you need to make an application, which I showed you earlier. If the time permits, I will actually share the URL where you need to make an application. And that will be shared in the chat window after I complete the presentation. Moving very quickly forward because of the time constraints. What we expect out of all the students who are meeting us during the on-spot provisional admission session is we emphasize on academic caliber with strong performance in courses that are relevant to the program of study that you are aspiring for. Test scores currently not mandatory, but resume will be mandatory. It will carry a lot of importance. Academic standing. So all the students who are wanting to apply for an instant decision on the on-spot provisional admissions event, we evaluate your academic standing, the rigor of your coursework, and the sequencing of semesters and test scores. So what you think of Illinois Tech is also equally important. So in your resume, we would like to hear what you think and why you think an education at Illinois Tech will help you in your academic pursuits. We would also like to hear your story of how you may have overcome many challenges or struggles that in your academic history. Now, the most important part for all the students, what are the waivers that are available during the virtual on-spot provisional admission session where the decisions are instant. We have waived off the statement of purpose, so you don't have to give us the statement of purpose. $100 application fee is waived off, so this encourages all the students to apply. TOEFL, IELTS are waived off for all students who have completed 16 years of formal education with English as a medium of instruction. GRE, GMAT test scores are waived off owing to the current pandemic situation. Letters of recommendation are also waived off currently because we are meeting you one-on-one. In an event where you make a regular application and where you are not able to meet us virtually, that's when we would require your letters of recommendation and statement of purpose. As communicated to you earlier, we are giving you a scholarship of up to $10,000 on the tuition fee. So that's one thing that's very interesting. Our general tuition fee is $1,614 per credit. And what we are doing currently is offering you a tuition scholarship of up to $10,000. And not just that, what we are also offering you is a scholarship on housing of up to $4,000. So this is the time to take the most of it, because the decision is going to be instant. Immediately you're going to be hearing the decision. Not just the decision, but also you will be hearing about the scholarship that we can offer you. All this is going to happen during the virtual on-spot provisional admission session. So please make sure you take the most of it. I would also like to let you know how we are actually geared up for the current pandemic situation. This is a message from Alan W. Cramb, the president of Illinois Institute of Technology. So we are prioritizing the health and well-being and support all our community members, and that's how the message goes. As Illinois Tech student, you would like to know what are all the kind of preparations done by Illinois Institute of Technology. We encourage all the students who are on campus to actually wear masks. As long as you are on campus, we encourage you to frequently wash your hands. Not just that, but various other precautions that you need to take. Maybe you should have 6 feet distance while you are walking, and you just need, these are some of the COVID updates that we have. The updates are available if you scan the QR code as well. General updates, because of the current pandemic situation, 3 modes of education have evolved: online, hybrid, and in-person classes. So the on-spot provisional admission session is for the in-person classes that are going to happen for the next forthcoming semesters. And then we have also increased some summer course offerings. So in case anybody would like to go opt for summer programs, here's what we have. And during this fluid situation, some very important information that you need to look as a student, and the websites pertaining to this information are given here. Take a close look of at all these information. Information about the current status of Illinois Institute of Technology with respect to the COVID situation is found on iit.edu/COVID. For checking the Center for Disease Control, this is a government organization. That's the website that you need to refer to. You can also check for US Department of State website for more information. A lot of information is given on state.gov. You should, for visa appointments, you should check the, you should check the US Travel Docs website. For any information related to Illinois Institute of Technology, please make sure you write to us on india@iit.edu. We will be happy to help you for any requirement. We also have a 24/7 bot-enabled WhatsApp number. So in order to chat with us in any of the Indian offices that we have, this is the number that you need to get in touch with us on. Also, the one interesting thing is, unlike many US universities, Illinois Institute of Technology has an India office, and we have not one, but we have 3 Indian offices across the country: Mumbai, Chennai, and Bangalore. These are the places where we had the offices. Also, please note our number. You can call us on this number and get connected to one of the admission specialists who will be able to guide you through the process of application, not just the on-spot provisional application, but also the regular applications. Feel free to write to me on india@iit.edu. I will also be happy to answer any questions that you may have. I would also like to thank EdUSA and all its officers for giving us an opportunity to interact with such beautiful audience. Let us know in case you have any other requirements. You can always write to india@iit.edu. We will always be happy to assist you. Before I conclude, I just need to put the application form which I was talking about, the on-spot provisional admissions application form. I am leaving it in the chat window here for all the students in case you want to, get in touch with us or make an application here. This is where you need to make an application. Thank you so much. That's all I have to talk for today.
Thank you, sir. I invite Shanti ma'am to proceed to the next session. Shanti ma'am. Pralhat sir, are you available?
Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah, I think you can start your session, sir.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Shanti is asking herself to be
Shanti ma'am is
unmuted.
asking. 1 minute, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Prahlad. I think I will take the honor of introducing Prahlad for a couple of minutes. I mean, not even a couple of minutes, I guess. Prahlad Marilahalli, as you know, this is I mean, when I spoke to him last time, I understood that it's a place in Karnataka. And he represents University of Massachusetts at Lowell as their regional manager for South Asia. Prahlad's forte is international student recruitment, and he has multi-regional experience in this domain, I would say. Prior to UMass Lowell, he was also working with the Canadian universities. I would like to say Prahlad Course, as a former international student, I'm passionate about helping students and families navigate the international admission process. I enjoy meeting prospective students and their families and guiding them through the application process. So this is for students like you to take this opportunity to get to know Prahlad and hear him talk about what his university has to offer to students like you. Prahlad also holds a master's degree from Adencia Business School in France and his engineering bachelor's from Mumbai University. So he is the ideal person to talk about international education because he has already experienced one. Without much ado, over to you, Prahlad, and please go ahead and present.
Thank you, Shanti, for that introduction. I'll just go ahead and share my screen before I start. So before I start with the introduction to the university, just as Shanti mentioned in her very nice words, I've been an international student myself. I have studied in India till my graduation, just like all of you. So I was in the same shoe as where you are right now. And from there, I went ahead, I explored a lot of other markets, and finally, due to my personal choice, I went ahead and I studied in France, which then led me to work in Europe as well as in India, then moving on to Canada and Middle East, representing a Canadian university. Right now, currently my designation does say that I'm looking into University of Massachusetts Lowell for South Asia, but I'm also looking into Middle East. So it allows me to come across a lot of students with a similar kind of query that I was not so long back. Now, that being said, just like Shanti mentioned, I would be more than happy, not just at this session, but after this session also, I would be giving you a one-on-one appointment link with me. You can feel free to have a conversation with me, wherein you can come with your parents, your friends, and so on, wherein we can discuss a lot more interpersonal queries as well. That being said, with like you guys have already spent a lot of time here today, and I'm sure there's a college day as well for you. So I wouldn't take a lot of time going quickly through the university presentation. So thank you all for being part of this event. Thank you for inviting me, St. Francis Xavier's College. And let's start with University of Massachusetts Lowell. So as the name suggests, University of Massachusetts Lowell is in the Lowell city of the state Massachusetts. Let me just move on to the next slide. For those of you who might not have a clear idea of where Massachusetts is in the northeastern part of United States. It is known for it being a cultural and an educational hub. A lot of top universities are in the state of Massachusetts. This also brings to the fact that there are a lot of economic base, diverse economic base, not just limited to one particular industry, but we are spread across multiple industries, right from biotech to information technology and so on. Where are we exactly? We are in the greater Boston area. We are 30 miles away from the Boston city itself. Boston itself is known for its biotechnology and high-tech industries. Let's talk a little bit about the city that you will be part of if you are taking admission to our university. That is the city of Lowell. The city of Lowell itself is known for its international diversity, the cultural heritage, the historical heritage. Since the city of Lowell was also one of the hubs for industrial revolution when it started in the US. So a lot of international population migrated there, and now they call the city as their city. So whenever you go, you will always see a much more welcoming environment. I know this as Indian students or international students, this is one of our key questions, is not how big the city is or how small the city is and so on. It is how safe the city is. And you can definitely count Lowell as one of the safest cities because of the historic and cultural background that they have. Now, just talking about UMass Lowell itself. UMass Lowell, again, one of the key questions that all of us have when we are applying to the university is what is the scope of the program. Now, a lot of times, international representatives don't necessarily understand what do we mean as Indian students when we say what is the scope of the program. What we want to know is when we go into a particular program, what is the return on investment? So according to payscale.com, UMass Lowell has been ranked as 27th amongst the public universities in the US when it comes to return on investment. And this is not just limited to like in the Massachusetts area. If you look into it, then it's the #1. And like I said, Massachusetts has few of the top universities in the US. We are also the fastest growing public doctoral institution. Needless to say, as Shanti introduced in the very beginning, we are a public university, meaning we are sponsored and funded and supported by the government, the state government. And that also reflects into the fact that we had over $80 million into our research funding that was being sponsored. A lot of focus has been put into research area, and that itself has to say that we have over 200,000 plus square feet of new research space introduced since 27. A little bit about the university itself, how it has grown, especially in the international spectrum. We are one of the top universities. We have climbed 27 spots in the last 4 years, which is one of the fastest when it comes to the growth of the university itself. We have over 58 patents and we are ranked 36th worldwide. Also, one of the top ranked universities in the New England region, not just limited to Massachusetts, but 6 states in the New England region of United States. We are ranked as one of the top ranked public universities when it comes to salary potential of the students. But one of the key things for me as an international student to look into is Business Insider. I'm sure many of you know what a Business Insider review or a magazine is. They have named amongst all these top-notch universities in the state of Massachusetts, they have named, after doing a survey among students and the people, they have named University of Massachusetts Lowell as one of the most underrated universities in the state. Now, again, just talking about what the university also looks into when it comes across the growth itself. We definitely believe, since we are a public university, we are definitely including all our stakeholders. One of the main is the students, the future students like you guys, and the existing students for a responsible growth. We've had over 50% plus growth in terms of enrollment since 27. To support that, we've had over 14 buildings opened. These are certain things that kind of showcases the university's commitment towards enrolling and providing proper standard education to many of the students, international as well as domestic. Now, I'm sure most of you guys here are, like all of you guys here, are looking into an engineering master's. But if you're looking into changing your field, an international education, something that Shanti briefly touched during her presentation, an international education, why do we as Indian students should look into it, is also the kind of flexibility that it provides. So UMass Lowell being a top tier public university, we are also someone who has like colleges from humanities, fine arts, social sciences, health sciences, College of Engineering, College of Sciences, and School of Business, and College of Education. Now, why is it important for me to let you guys know about this? Is also for the fact that, for example, personally myself, I did engineering from India when I did my graduation, but I went ahead and I pursued an education in the field of management. That was the flexibility that it provided me as an international student. So any of you guys are looking out for changing your field, changing your course, definitely there is an opportunity to do that as well here. But we and how do you do that is we have over 120 plus undergraduate majors, of which 50 plus are bachelor's to master's. I'm sure this information is not relevant for you, but this is something that you can always guide any of your friends and family members if they are looking out for an undergraduate program. Basically meaning that you can actually carry out your bachelor's and master's both within 5 years, possibly. But now something that you should be looking out for is that we have over 40 plus master's program and 30 plus doctoral programs. Talking a little bit about diversity on campus, we have representation from all the 50 states of United States and representation from over 124 countries, including India, represented on campus. We have over 90,000 plus alumni live globally. Now, just talking about a little bit of international population, and when we are talking about India, we are the top feeders when it comes to the graduate students. Second only to China when it comes to undergraduate students, but a combination, we are the top feeders of the international population. Now, since many of you are engineering majors here, I would just want to briefly touch upon the masters that we have, but in the engineering college. But again, anybody who is interested to change their field, change their background, please feel free to get in touch with me. We have over 40 plus master's program. Talking about graduate programs in the engineering college, here are some of the programs that you should be looking into. There are definitely a lot of combination and specializations within this. Feel free to get in touch with me on a private forum wherein I can talk to you about what all you can do when it comes to, let's say, chemical engineering. Is it limited just to Masters of Chemical Engineering? No, you can definitely specialize into different fields. We also have certain unique courses like plastics engineering and so on that you can benefit from. So yes, here are certain names that you are looking into as the top programs that the students would look into from India, but definitely there are some other combinations of majors and minors that you can do. So feel free to get in touch with me to understand how you can do that. One of the key things as a master's student at UMass Lowell that you can do, especially as engineering students, is opt for a co-op. Now, this is not necessarily true for all the universities across US. So I would want to take pride that UMass Lowell has this option. As a co-op student, you not only, what is a co-op? Now, I'm sure some of you are aware, but for those who are not aware, co-op, in a very layman's term, is a combination of internship and experiential learning. So when you combine these two, basically that means that you are putting up to 3 to 6 months of your study time into doing an internship with a company that is in your field of education. And whilst you're doing this, not only that you're getting paid for it, all our co-ops are paid, but you are also getting credits for that same program. Now, during this, you need to maintain a good grade for entering into a co-op, but you're also learning things like, technical writing, how to do your job search. All these things would definitely also reflect well when you're looking out for an actual job post your graduation. Now, talking a little bit about the STEM designation. I'm sure many of you know why it is relevant when it comes to United States. STEM basically stands for science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and any program that is designated with this allows you to stay back for over 3 years to have a job after your study and also look out for an H-1B. So all our master and doctoral programs from the College of Engineering and College of Sciences are STEM designated program. But if you are also looking out for a career change and so on, most likely into business, we also have a Masters of Science in Business Analytics, which is a STEM designated program, which basically means once you finish your graduation, you can opt for an OPT for nearly 3 years. I'm sure the Education USA team is definitely going to have a interaction with you into defining what's a CPT, what's an OPT. But yes, this basically means that you can do these programs and stay back for 3 years to look out for not only an H-1B, but also work during this time period. Now, a little bit brief about what you're expecting in terms of costing. Since we are a public university, your cost of 1 year is approximately $29,000. Also because it's subsidized and it's in the lower end of what you would see in a lot of other universities across US and private universities across Massachusetts as well. That being said, that you are as an international student, you automatically get adjudicated for a master's merit-based scholarship, which is a provost fellowship that we have, ranging anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. And an overall 30 credit program should cost you around $45,000. Now, what are the requirements, right? This is something that I've provided here as an average score that the students would have generally, but and definitely for the COVID-19 scenario, we have had some waivers coming up, which I will talk about a bit later for the upcoming intakes, that is spring 2021 and fall 2021. But generally, during the normal time, we look out for a GRE score of 300 plus, wherein we look out for a minimum of 150 in your quantitative score. An average GPA of 3 is expected for a minimum eligibility. And if you're giving an English proficiency test, be it IELTS, wherein we look out for 6.5 average, we don't look into any individual band. And for TOEFL, we look into 79 average. We don't look into any individual bands. But now this is where I want to come across to addressing what are we doing with respect to the minimum requirements for pertaining to the COVID-19 scenario. For spring 2021 and fall 2021, we have completely waived off the requirements of a GRE score, a GRE score or a GMAT score. And instead of IELTS or TOEFL, you can provide us a Duolingo score of anywhere of 110 and above. So these are something that you can look into. Definitely, if you are a student who is applying to the university and you get us admission for, let's say, spring 2021, and you've been awarded a scholarship, and due to the same scenario, you're not able to fly to US, even as this scenario continues, let's say in the spring period, your scholarships would also be honored even if you take a deferral. So anything and everything that we are constantly doing is keeping the best interest of the student in mind so that they are given access to the best possible education in the most easiest format. Now, how do you apply? It's a very straightforward scenario. I would definitely say all of us are very well equipped with, let's say, opening a Google account or a Facebook account. This is as similar to that. You just have to go onto a website, choose the course that you want to apply to, and click on apply, and you just fill in all the details, provide the relevant documents like 3 letters of recommendation, a statement of purpose. I do have mentioned here the WES requirement for some of the programs, which is not going to be true again for any application that is being made before January 15th, only because that is part of our waivers. And your official test scores, again, you don't have to send it to me on email, or you don't have to send it to anyone on email. You're just uploading it on the portal, just like you would have done opening a Google or a Facebook account. Now, you do see that there is a $50 application fee here. We do have application fee waivers, but we give it to subjective to the student's profile. So I would again encourage you all to book a one-on-one appointment with me. I would place that on a chat box, post this event, post my presentation. You can click on it, get access directly into my calendar, see the time and date according to your convenience, and book an appointment with me. And we can definitely discuss further upon getting an application fee waiver for you, and also address all the other questions that you might not ask today or that you might come across as you're researching for your study at UMass Lowell. To get in touch with me, I am very accessible on emails. You should generally have an email reply from me within 24 to 48 hours, provided that it's not a public holiday or a weekend. Otherwise, if you want to reach out to me over phone, or both my US and Indian numbers are present here. I look into both undergraduate and graduate admissions. So that's my contact. So you can also scan the QR code here to have a one-on-one appointment with me. You can take the tour of the campus by scanning this QR code. So I'll keep this for a second for you to do that. And then I'm just placing the link for my one-on-one appointment before handing it back to Shanti. And I'm looking forward to answering any of your questions right now. And that is the most important part, which is the reason why I rushed through the whole presentation so that I can answer your questions. Shanti, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Prahlad, for that wonderful presentation. Can I also have Sri Kumar, so that all three of us can collectively answer the student questions?
Yes, Shanti, I'm here.
Yeah, okay, you're there, Sri. Okay, thank you. First of all, I must thank all the students and the faculty who had stayed with us for almost an hour and a half, listening to all three of us sharing it. I know this is an information overload, but I think in the past 6 months, all of you are pretty much used to being either an active or a passive listener to the webinars. And I'm sure you know what to really take from all of them. Okay. So with that pretext, I think I would like to answer a couple of questions that I received from students. Give me a second, please. Okay, so I'm going to read out this question and I would request both Sri and Prahlad to give your viewpoint on this, and finally I will add a little more to that. Okay, the first question is, what are all the things make an average student's application acceptable if he or she applies for a college or a university for her master? I presume it's for the master's program. So I repeat, what are all the things make an average student's application acceptable? So what would be your, yeah.
So I guess,
Yeah.
should I start with it or Shri?
Yeah, I mean, any one of them. Yeah, you go ahead and then I will ask Sri to follow that. Yeah.
Definitely. So again, don't get into the whole hassle about how do I make my application more attractive and so on. So the focus should be, and again, I will be talking more upon from an international student perspective. You should firstly identify the program that you want to pursue for your master's program. Once you identify that, universities and colleges across US have clear guidelines on what are the things that they are looking out for when it comes to prerequisites. These are the things that they are looking out for from a student's profile. Now, coming back to let's say UMass Lowell, when we look into a particular student's profile, we have a very holistic view of looking into the profile. We check the whole profile, not just limited to say GRE or the GPAs that you have, but the whole view, and then accordingly award the student. We've had students who have had education gaps who have got admissions. We have had students who did not have education gap, but who have got admissions. So it's essentially satisfying the prerequisites, okay, that the program requires you to have, but also ensuring that you're working towards the program that you're going for.
Thank you. Over to you, Sri.
Well, I completely agree with Prahlad. More or less, all the US universities will look at the holistic view of a student's profile. There are no jargons in it. It's very simple. When you go onto the website of any university, you will first find what exactly the student is expected to submit, and these will form the major part of the assessment. And if all the documents are as per the requirements, I see no reason why a student's profile is not strong.
Thank you. I think, yeah. So adding to that, I would always say, whatever that's on your hand, try and give the best possible. Say, for example, I think some of you who are right now in your fourth year probably are thinking to begin this process. So what is there on hand right now for you to get a better profile? Okay, I mean, whatever semester you completed, you're not going to change them, but you may still have the opportunity to say, probably write a GRE or give a TOEFL or do some project, whatever means by which you are able to keep enhancing your profile. I think that should help you get an admission into the university that best fit your requirement. So I once again reiterate that identifying the right fit university is the important stage. So when you are able to find the university that best fit your priorities and your capabilities, you shouldn't really worry about whether you're an average student or not an average student. So because you've already done a basic assessment of yourself, and that should definitely get you a good admission to go with. Okay. Yeah. So there is one more part to this question, which is like, I think both of you will be the right people to answer this. there is a myth like if we are in need of financial support, the probability of accepting our application will be less. Is this true? I think, yeah, so this sort of a question a lot of students do ask us. So if I'm going to tell an university saying that I'm in need of scholarship and financially I'm not that sound. So even if my profile is good, a lot of students feel that they will get a reject because they asked for funding. So I want an answer for this from the perspective of a private university as well as from the public university. So I would like Shri to go first and then followed by Prahlad.
Well, as a private university, I would say when a student asks for funding, there's nothing wrong in asking for funding at all. The student has got every right to know what exactly he's eligible for and what are the opportunities available in terms of tuition and fees. We as a private university, we are also a not-for-profit university. So there are umpteen number of scholarships that are available, and the scholarships, one thing, are at the sole discretion of the faculty and are mostly merit-based and not need-based with us. However, there are a lot of considerations when the student's overall profile is evaluated. If the student's financials are not so up to the mark, he or she is a very good bright student, then we would definitely would like to extend whatever possible means of help to the student and get him on board at Illinois Tech.
Yeah.
So from the public university perspective, from overall, the student perspective of what an international funding looks like and so on, there are a lot of avenues, like Shanti mentioned, not just limited to the universities per se, but outside the university, which the Education USA will definitely assist you with. But in general, a public university is already funded by the state. So there are a lot of avenues wherein students can benefit from getting those fundings and scholarships. But as Shri rightly mentioned, and Shanti mentioned it a couple of times, a scholarship actually means that it is for merit. It's evaluated on merit. It's evaluated on your profile. Now, differentiating that with what a funding is, a financial aid is, this is something that a lot of times students in India are concerned about, that, hey, I cannot manage to make this much money available for my course. So again, like she very rightly mentioned, that there is no harm in keeping that perspective upfront and to see what is available for you, right? Just like Shanti mentioned, you're not applying to one particular university. You need to shortlist a couple of universities that are up there, and there is always some pros and cons, and you have to see how you can better match them. But yes, there are financial aids available everywhere, and that is only because it is available for you. It's not there to just showcase. So don't hesitate to ask that across.
Yeah, thank you, Shri and Prahlad, for that answer. I'm sure that had answered the student's question. Adding a quick note to this, that is why we always recommend assess your capability, financial capability. I mean, nothing wrong in asking for funding, definitely yes, but when you know for sure, so the scholarships are subjected to your academic profile and various other factors. When you must assess first what is actually possible by you, and if there is a support that you're going to get from the institution, then it always it's an add-on, I would say. Again, I'm not trying to say that you cannot apply to a college if you feel that you can't meet all the educational expenses. But at the same time, be very pragmatic in your approach and choose the right institutions. Okay. So we move on with the next question, which is from, I think, So there is a student who had gone through IIT and UML websites, and his question is, I feel the fee structure is a huge amount in Indian money, and in regular basis, it will be okay for us to proceed. But now, considering this pandemic situation, uh, and as it breaks all our future beliefs, so what kind of excellence we can or we shall obtain from you? So I leave the choice to any one of you to go first, because I think this is something which, as university representatives, you can answer better than my viewpoint on this.
Shri, you want to go first?
No, you can go ahead.
Sure. So again, like, when it comes to cost, and especially when it comes to, like, the expenses that you have at the university especially during this pandemic period. One of the things that Shri mentioned in his slides is true for all of our universities on this thing here, is that we have multiple opportunities of how you can get your education completed. Pertaining to, like, online education and so on to begin with. So for example, anybody who has enrolled onto UMass Lowell for fall 2020, that is September, that they have started their classes, they have taken it online, which also means that at our university, one of the key things that we have done, again, since we are a public university, what we've done is we've reduced the fees for anyone who has taken an online course. That reduces your cost. Also, meaning to say, an online course is the way it is being taught. The course itself is not online, so the credibility of your course does not diminish. You still get the same value once you graduate with your master's degree. But the opportunities that you're looking out as an Indian international student, again, or I would have looked out, is that one, I'm paying a lower fee for getting my courses, as well as I don't have to spend on living expenses and any expenditure that I would have had when I would have been in the US for at least one semester. So these are not direct scholarships, but these are more like indirect scholarships that you're talking about when it comes to expenses. That also said along, a lot of times when we are looking into the costs of study in the US at any university or college, we are talking about the tuition fee. But what we are missing out is the various opportunities that you have to work on campus and off campus while you are studying there. So at UMass Lowell also, you can work on campus to an average earning of nearly $12 per hour. That nearly sums up to $960. This is not something as a representative any one of us advocates, is only because we should not, or rather we do not want you to consider this as while considering your expenses. But these are definitely the avenues wherein you can make some money, you can call it as pocket money, which definitely helps you to bear your expenses while you're there as an international student. Shri, over to you.
So yes, thanks, Prahlad. So I completely agree with the point that is made by Prahlad and Shanti. Here, one thing a student needs to consider is because of the current pandemic situation, there are different modes of education that have evolved, and we at Illinois Tech have taken control of this particular situation. Right from the day we set up our India offices way back in 1998, we have been doing the online mode of education in a way that has provided a boon to our fall 2020 students. Basically, we were able to migrate all the fall 20 aspirants who were otherwise who should have been in Chicago by now, who were not able to go to the campus for their in-person classes, basically because of the pandemic situation. All of them have been migrated to the online mode of education at a tuition fee that is 33% of what exactly the on-campus tuition fee is. So that, as Prahlad said, it's a kind of an indirect scholarship that has come in to the students. And if, as an Indian student, if you evaluate, let's say you are taking a master's program, which is a duration of 4 semesters, Illinois Institute of Technology will allow you to do 2 semesters in India at a reduced or subsidized tuition fee, and then move to the campus for completion of the next 2 semesters. Ideally, if you're there for fall and spring semesters consecutively, you also tend to be eligible for OPT and CPT opportunities that are available. Now, this mode of education where you complete certain portion of your education online and then move to on campus for your completion of the masters. This is a very cost effective way of completion. The on-spot provisional admissions are allowing you to get a scholarship of up to $10,000 on your tuition fee. Along with that, you are also getting a housing scholarship of $4,000, up to $4,000. Now, in both the situations, let's see a situation where a student is given an instant admission during the on-spot provisional admissions. The student tends to get a scholarship of 10,000. Plus, if the student decides that he or she wants to do 1 or 2 semesters online, now that's a huge saving for the student. Now, overall, when you evaluate the entire outflow, there's a tremendous amount of saving for the student. One is because if you're starting your semester online, you're just paying 33% of what exactly the tuition fee on campus is. Plus, when you're on campus, you're also eligible for the scholarship that is offered to you up to about $10,000, which you can use while you are on campus. So there are some direct opportunities, there are some indirect opportunities that are available. You should be exploring every detail. There's nothing wrong in asking, as I said, answered for the earlier question also. Please go through, do a lot of research on the website and know what is best for you.
Thank you, Shri and Prahlad. Yeah, that's what I would say. Please do a research. So this is like a sample information, both up from the public university point of view and the private university point of view. We heard from both of them. So like them, there are many other universities who also have these sort of options of online program or giving scholarships for students. So doing a research is the right way, and as Sri mentioned, ask all the questions that's possible so that you are able to get the right thing at your hand. So there's next question, which is about the minimum salary package after our graduation. So I think I would like to say that during the presentations by both Shri and Prahlad, they have given you the perspective with regard to their institution and the opportunities the students have after completing the program. I think likewise, if you do your research and you have a list of universities shortlisted whom you are interested in applying to, all of them would have similar information in their websites. Even if they don't have, please write to them, and there is always a statistics page most of the universities do maintain, and you will be able to get all this information from that page. I think that answers your question. We move on as we have very limited time. The next question is, the application fees for each college is way too much, and we have to apply for 3 or more colleges. So how to reduce those things? I think our colleagues, both Shri and Prahlad, already offered you the application fee waiver. So if 2 universities are already covered in your list, and I would recommend find 3 more or 4 more of them who will or who may give these sort of application fee waiver opportunities for you. And I think that should help you. The other quick trick that I would like to share is, there are many virtual fairs that are going on now in the, in the system, I would say in the educational system, and there are Education USA recently conducted one. And I think many of universities who participated in that fair automatically offered a application fee waiver to all the students who visited their booth or interacted with one of the representatives who were present at the fair. So please be on the lookout for such fairs, or even you can write to the universities and say that I happen to find you in this place, and I'm a student from India and I would like to avail this application fee waiver, and you may be lucky enough to get 3 or more of them. Bottom line is, you have to be very proactive, do your research, and find the right fit for you. So if you're able to match all these 3, I'm sure you will be able to reduce your cost of education. Okay, the next question is, yeah, you want to add something to it? I'm so sorry.
No,
Yeah, please go ahead.
So another thing that I just wanted to add upon, like, to be very honest, if you do your right research, for this person who asked the question, if you've been onto the UMass Lowell website, you would also know that we are as a public university, we are part of a common application system when it comes to engineering programs. So if you happen to get a application fee waiver from me, you're basically entitled to few other universities as well while you're making that application. But here's the thing, the application fee that you're looking at, yes, definitely it's a huge number. If you have to pay from your pocket sitting here in India, which both me and Shri would try not to make that happen for you and give away the application fee waiver. But as Shanti said, that you need to be proactive and see that, is it because of the application fee waiver that I'm not applying to a particular university, or I'm rather applying to this university because it is providing the right course and the way I want it. So because at the end of the day, when you're paying tens of thousands of dollars for your entire program, $100 or a $50 is not a big amount. So choose your programs, choose your university wisely, not basis on the initial expense that you would want to save upon.
Thank you, Prahlad. Dr. Jnanashekaran, do we have 5 more minutes? Because I see 3 questions here. So we will take that questions and then end the session.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, the next question is, does our CGPA matter in getting into masters in US? Shri or Prahlad, one of you can go for it.
Shri?
CGPA does matter. Your academic qualifications do play a major role in your admission into any of the United States universities. However, at this point of time, it's not just the CGPA or your academic performance that is counted. There are a lot of other factors that come into picture. Your GRE, GMAT test scores, your TOEFL, or your letters of recommendation, your statement of purpose. Statement of purpose, many of the students in India believe that, a statement of purpose can be written just like that. Well, it is an important document which is read by the faculty while making a decision. Here at Illinois Institute of Technology, also it is the same thing. So CGPA does matter in terms of getting an admission, but it's just a part of the admission decision process. There are many other factors that are involved in making a student's admission decision.
Prahlad, you would like to add something to it?
Well, most of the things what Shri said is true at UMass Lowell as well. Like I said in the very beginning, we do a more holistic approach. So we definitely look into the overall profile. So in addition to everything that Shri said, if I want to, if I may quote something, all you guys need to do is, when it comes to writing an SOP, it's not about the success that you're talking about. It's about the whole experience and the whole journey. As much as you can keep it personal to yourself, that is what is more appreciated than it being either plagiarism is completely a no-no. If found, I mean, that's like a straightforward no. But even if copying from someone in terms of talking about your success and everything, it's more expected that you talk about the whole journey and what you're expecting to do at either one of our institutes and so on.
Thank you. Yeah, the bottom line you have to take is your profile is reviewed holistically And of course, academic plays definitely a major role in admissions to US institution. And what level and other things, it depends on the university and their admission policies and how they review them. The next question is, should we have to write any exams to enter into the university? I think all three of us have spoken about this right from the at every stages of our presentation. Usually for masters or a PhD program, the students are required to take a GRE exam and English language proficiency, because we are all non-native speakers of English, like TOEFL, IELTS, Duolingo, or Pearson's test. But as we discussed through this entire presentations, on account of this COVID-19 and the pandemic situation, most of the institutions are making a consideration, because students are not able to go to a testing center and write these exams, or so there are a lot of difficulties in achieving this requirement, right? So they are made optional for in many universities. However, if you feel that disclosing a GRE score and the English proficiency exam would kind of add to your profile, I think you shouldn't stop yourself from not taking it. Go ahead and appear for those exams. And we would also recommend that to make a decision of whether should I take a GRE, GMAT, or TOEFL or anything, the best place is to go to the individual university website and see what have they disclosed, say, in purview of the current pandemic. And some of them have clearly mentioned that this exemption for GRE or language proficiency exam is only for the current, say, fall 2021 and or sometime up to fall 2022. But after that, the universities may require you to write any of those exams. So always keep the university website as your point of reference and see. And if it's not clear, please write to the admissions office or contact people like Prahlad or Sri Kumar if you're applying to their institutions, and take their advice on how you go about it. Okay, moving on. The next question. What is the difference between studying a master degree in India and US? Okay, so I would request Prahlad to take this question first because of your qualification as an ex-international student, and then I move on to Sri to add more to it. Okay, over to you,
Sure.
Prahlad.
So again, coming down to the bottom line is like, the course itself, like, what kind of program that you're entering into. So when you're doing a master's program in India, as compared to when you're doing a master's program in the US, the bandwidth of the options of the program that you can do increases. Not just that, the one key thing for me personally, as an international student studying abroad, was the flexibility. Right? The flexibility of choosing a particular program that I want to study my master's into, and probably even combining it with another minor or a major to graduate as a master's into 2 degrees, like a dual degree, or a major and a minor. So the flexibility is one of the key things. Now, here's the biggest thing that you need to look into of why you need to expand your horizon as an international student in this particular date and time of the world, is also because when you are looking into working into any company, you are looking into companies which are multinational companies. You're going to work with a lot of diverse population, which is across the globe. You might be sitting in an IT company in Bangalore, but you might be serving a German audience, things like that. So when one of the key things that international study brings in, and especially a hub like United States brings in, is the fact that in a classroom, there is never the case that you are like sitting with everyone from one particular nation. You're always filled in with a lot of other diverse population from across the globe. So these small things that you're doing within the classroom, like, case studies, working together on a project, that allows you to get a psyche of what a particular person looks at from this particular country, which then translates into when you go into the practical world. So I would say the most important feature of doing a master's in US, more than the course itself, is everything that is other than the course, that the exposure that it gives you, the diversity that it brings in your profile, things like that. Over to you, Shri.
Thank you. Yes, you have actually covered all the points from the student's perspective, owing to the experience that you had as an individual student at a point of time in your life. Not just that, there are a couple of other things that I would like to add. Well, there is a lot of difference that comes in. I'm sure Prahlad would agree. As a student who is currently in India, with a certain level of thought process, when he or she goes abroad, goes to United States for study, there is a lot of change in the thought process because of the diversity of the student body at any of the 4,500 student universities present across the United States. It will allow you to think differently in a way that you would not have thought of in future. The second thing would be that you are getting a world-renowned education, world-renowned degree that you are going to have once you graduate. The level at which you start your employment is way ahead when compared to what any of your peers in India would have got after they get their master's degree in hand. At Illinois Tech, as I was showing you in one of the slides, the median salary is about $71,600 per annum for our fresh graduates. Now, imagine a level at which you are, one, getting a diverse student body environment, you are getting a thought process that was way beyond your expectation at a point of time, and you're getting paid handsomely. I think that is what is the major difference in doing your master's in India or doing it in the United States.
Thank you so much, both of you. I think students would have got the perspective of studying in the US. Okay. The next question is, do we have to take internships before doing our masters in US? If yes, what are they? I think Shri, can you just throw some light?
It's not mandatory that you should have internships. Of course, internships would play an important role, but as I said earlier, answering one of the questions on CGPA, there's a holistic view of looking at your application. Internships, having one or two internships while you are in BE or BTech will definitely help your profile, but it is not mandatory that you should be having an internship before you do your master's in the United States.
Yeah. Prahlad?
I mean that was a pretty straightforward answer, that you don't for either public, private, any place that you want to study, what are key and what are required are the prerequisites. All right, anything that you add onto it is more like the icing on the cake. So with that analogy, the cake itself is the prerequisite. If you don't have that, then the icing might not necessarily help. But yes, the icing always makes the cake more tasty. So anything that you have it already, then great. But don't actually go ahead and fetch for it, because it might not necessarily add that much value as you might expect it to from the time that you are here right now to when you finish your internship.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, because this is a standard question we always hear from students. They'll say that, what is my chances of getting into a US university? I have 2 internships, 1 paper publishing. I mean, as you said, those are all the add-ons, but we need to have the basic profile right, and that's the one which gets us the good admission. Thank you for that good. I'm sorry. Okay. What is the right time to visit US for masters? Is it spring, winter, or summer? Is any university offering us virtual classes? I think who wants to go first? I will give the choice to you.
Shanti, I just lost your last part of the question though.
What is the right time to visit US for masters? Spring, winter, or summer? Is there any university offering us virtual classes full time?
So I'll go first since I interrupted you in the question. So generally, like this is standard across the board, but definitely, Shri, you can add some more insight to it. See, I mean, there is no specific ideal time to go to US to study, but yes, definitely due to the study structure and the study calendar in India as well, you know, most of us graduating somewhere in the summer of India allows a lot of our students historically to flock US in the month of September, which is fall intake. But definitely, if there is something that you're doing additionally, there is again that flexibility that you can start in the other intakes as well. Some institutes, though, might have some programs that are only starting in September. So if in that case, if you see September, which is fall intake, should be the favorite intake for you to see, but that should not stop you from looking into the other intakes. It does not make a big difference in terms of the quality of education or what you're expecting out of that program. It remains particularly the same. There was also second part to this question, right, Shanti? Or this was the question itself?
Yeah, they want to know, is there any university offering us virtual classes full time?
Yeah, so something that, you know, Shri also mentioned, UMass Lowell is also very famously known for its online courses. And due to the, like, you know, we were someone who started it in 1996 itself. So the infrastructure at today's both participating institutes has been strong when it comes to delivering this. So adjusting to the requirements that were laid out by pandemic was not necessarily something that we couldn't adjust to. So yes, definitely both. I'm sure Illinois Tech as well, correct me if wrong. We have the provisions of virtual classes, virtual classrooms happening for our fall intake right now. And we are assessing fall of 2020, that is. We are definitely assessing the scenarios of how things are evolving for spring to begin with. And accordingly, we would definitely take care to ensure that we have those virtual classrooms. She did mention this in his presentation, and I'm reiterating that with UMass Lowell as well, that for students internationally, I mean, who are able to travel, but you know they don't have their grades. Students who do not who have their grades but are not able to travel to US, considering them as well, we have all, three kinds of like ways of how the education is provided to our students. One is the full-time classroom that's happening on campus. The other one is hybrid, wherein wherein students can take online courses even when they are in US, but come down for certain lab courses and so on campus. And the third is virtual and online, a combination of two, wherein students can be in their comfort of their home and take the classrooms accordingly to the way they choose it, online being anytime, virtual being during the time of the discourse. So yes, the provisions are definitely there.
Yeah, I completely agree with Prahlad, where the pandemic situation itself has evolved for many of the universities. It has forced them to evolve. However, both the universities that are on the panel today have been in this particular mode of delivery for quite some time now. Online, yes, many of our programs are offered online at a tuition fee that is highly subsidized, and in case the students want to opt for that, and over a period of time, after a semester or two, the students want to actually move forward to getting a campus experience, they're more than welcome to do that. And what was the second part of the question? Sorry, Shanti.
Yeah, it is like, is any university offering virtual classes full time? I think it's more related to online masters. That's what I understood it as.
So the online masters at Illinois Tech has been there for quite some time now, 1998 onwards. We've been offering master's degree programs at a cost that is highly subsidized when compared to the on-campus tuition fee. For any student who is looking at the online option, the option is very flexible. The student has he can start his education and continue it at his own pace. Most of the classes are all video recorded and put up on the internet for the students to view the classes any number of times. And the since the mode of education is online, it's actually not very different from the on-campus or in-person classes. The faculty being the same, the assignments, project works, everything being the same. Here at Illinois Tech, the certificate or the graduation certificate that the student gets is also exactly the same, where there is no mention that this particular student has done it online and his peer has done it from campus. So that makes it more interesting for the students, because with the same kind of education experience, the student is able to complete his or her master's at a cost that is much lower than what the student would ideally spend when he or she is on the campus. Plus, he or she is saving more on the housing, which otherwise he would have spent. The third one is that the degree certificate is exactly the same as the one that the student gets on campus. So yes, virtual classes are present, and both the panelists today have offered you this online mode of education for you to complete your master's degree. So you have an option to complete it online or in person or even hybrid. All the options are left for you to decide.
Thank you, Shri and Prahlad. I'm sure whoever had asked this question was able to get a perspective of this. Adding to that, as I mentioned in the beginning of my presentation about researching about universities, you could visit some of these search engines, and the search engines these days offer you to filter by online, hybrid, and in-person sessions. So that also can help you know which are the other institutions apart from the two who are here with us today are also offering these virtual programs. The next question is about, I think this is about switching over to a different field of study from the current major. I have done many projects in my major, which is Triple E. And have also published journal papers, but I'm interested in doing a cross major that's on computers. Can I include those things in my resume? That's the first question. Meaning, can he include all the work that he did related to Triple E on the resume? And is it helpful for the acceptance of my application? I think this is very similar to the one more profile question which was asked earlier. Yes, of course, you can include all the accomplishments that you have done, even though you're going to, planning to change your major to computers. I think one is, whenever you change a field of study, as I understand as a common practice, the student must be able to justify why that change. So a mere interest cannot be the answer for changing the field of study. He or she should have done a concrete, let's say, work involving the other field. That is one. Second, must have actually taken a lot of out-of-class coursework related to the new field of study. Plus, must have this deep interest in them, which is either expressed through a statement of purpose or through a practical work. So all these put together help the university to understand your change in the field of study and how keen are you to get into the new field of study. Now I would invite Prahlad and Shri to add a little more inputs to that. Probably whatever I'm saying makes sense to the students.
Uh, Definitely. So here's an example that I would like to use. So just yesterday, I spoke to a student who is from the dental background. She's already a doctor, but she wanted to pursue a course in data science. And for me, like this question would have been like, hey, I'm not sure if you can even do this. But yes, I mean, also the fact that, we are a university which has a lot of scope when it comes to various colleges and mix matching the courses. One of the key things, and again, I want to talk not specific to my university, but generally how it is out there, is that we are constantly talking about something called as prerequisite. Now, prerequisite in the US is completely different to this one word that we keep on hearing in India, that is the cutoffs, right? Cutoffs are the ones wherein you are evaluated amongst tens of thousands of applications to see who's the top few that they can admit to. Prerequisites are something that is stated for you to have, wherein they believe that having this would ensure that they understand your questions while you are in a classroom and you understand what they're teaching while you're in a classroom. So now coming to the question of changing the field. Changing the field would definitely be possible. Only thing is, either like Shanti said, that before applying, you exhibit some of the prerequisites from the other program that are already there reflecting on your profile, or some of the universities like UMass Lowell does. I'm sure Sri would add some more value to it when he's talking about Illinois Tech, that some of the universities have these provisions that once you go there, based on your profile, you can then take some more additional courses, additional credit value courses that will add value to your profile. Again, coming back to the same old answer, it's the holistic profile. So not just what you've done so far, but what have you done to add value to what you're looking out for in the other program is going to be looked into. But yes, definitely it is possible.
Yes, I agree to Prahlad. It is possible, and the prerequisites are what will play an important role in such a change in the field. G.V. Prasad, for example, I recall him saying, G.V. Prasad is the chairman for Dr. Reddy Laboratories. He did his chemical engineering from Illinois Institute of Technology. But he also went on to choose a minor subject in psychology. So US education allows this kind of a mix and match. So that's one of the advantages for students who want to take an additional experience as a part of their education. Not just that, but to answer this question, where a student is from Triple E and wants to move into a computer science field, yes, that is possible. However, while the application is being looked at, you may be recommended a few prerequisite courses which you are expected to do just to be abreast with what exactly is being taught in the classroom. You also have an option to challenge this decision of a prerequisite in case you want to appear for a written test and clear that particular test. And when you come out clearing that test, your prerequisites may stand waived off in certain cases.
Thank you, Shri. And also, I can say some few trends when the student want to change the major is that they take a lot of online courses as well from Coursera, EDX. They keep adding to show that yes, I am keen to shift my field to the another option. And as Prahlad mentioned, US is full of interdisciplinary approach to learning. So they don't define you with one single major. Or as Sri mentioned, you can take a major and probably do interesting minors to support your thing. In fact, at the undergrad level, it also gives you something called create your own program. But at the masters, as we all know that we already have a strong hold on a specific subject, and we are trying to see an extension to that, or probably move to another core subject. So feel free to keep sending us more questions to our email IDs, which we have already shared, so that we can also answer them at our extra time available because we have already taken half hour extra than what we really planned. I would like to end the session with one last question. That's from a student who says that I'm a green card holder. So is my admission process any different from an international student? So from the perspective of an Education USA advisor, I don't find absolutely any change, because whether you are in US or whether you are in India, when you apply for a master's program, all students have to go through the similar kind of application process system. But when it comes to disclosing, let's say if there is a question on citizenship and other things, maybe that as a green card holder you may have additional information to share. And also when it comes to saying like a scholarship which is specifically meant for international students, sometimes the green card holders do not come under that category, which I have personally seen at times. However, I will open this question to our university rep colleagues as well, so that when they, I'm sure they had gone through similar cases when they recruit students. So over to you, Shri, and then Prahlad following that.
You rightly mentioned some of the points of the students' scholarship. However, there are umpteen other scholarships that the students may get while in that green card category itself. The second thing would be the impact on the financial affidavit of support. For example, the students who are already in the United States or who are holding a green card may not be required to given the financial support documents that which otherwise the international students would have to produce before they get their I-20. Bella, over to you.
Yeah. So I would like to cut the application process into two halves when I'm answering this question. One is purely applying to the program and to the university, and the other one is the student applying to a particular organization, right? Like the let's say UMass Lowell or Illinois Tech. So when it comes to the program itself, there is no change. You are still applying to the program. Any prerequisite that you need to satisfy, you will need to satisfy it. Maybe as a green card holder, you can have the English language waived off, like the requirement of English language waived off, things like that. So application wise, you are still trying to satisfy the prerequisites, and certain things you can waive off. Now, when you're applying as a green card holder to the university, certain advantages or I mean like certain things that you would want to keep in note is the fact that things that an international student would have to go through in terms of applying for a visa and applying for I-20s to obtain that visas, all the bureaucratic part of it will be different. Yes, Shanti also rightly mentioned, the name itself says International Merit Scholarship, right? So that would mean that it is for international students, so you might not be eligible for it. But something that Sri mentioned is that as an PR or a green card holder or a citizen of US, you're then entitled, especially in a public university like mine, you're entitled to a lot of funding opportunities that come across for an the PR green card or a citizen category of people. And again, when it comes to public university, Shri, you can touch base again with respect to Illinois Tech. The fees structure also changes significantly when it comes to an international student or someone who is a green card holder or a citizen. But again, in the US, it's also like in-state, out-of-state, and international. So when you do apply to the university, again, it will be a holistic approach within your the green card credentials of what you are, which state you're coming from, and all those that will be looked into. But yes, there are some things that will be, I would say, as an advantage for you to take in as a green card holder, especially coming from a public university perspective.
It's more or less the same with the private universities also. So it's nothing different actually in terms of the law.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think one quick tip on that is so whenever you are in this kind of a status, like we would always recommend you writing to the graduate admissions office the first time to explain your situation for them to give you some more additional tips or process, so that helps you to approach the application in a better way. Yeah. So I think with that, we will end this session. Thank you so much, students, for asking those wonderful questions. And thank you, Prahlad and Sri Kumar, in joining me and helping me to address all the students' queries. So I now hand it over to Dr. Gnanashekaran to formally end the session. And thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Shanti ma'am, for coordinating the question and answer session. I would like to thank Mr. Sri Kumar Panyam and Mr. Pralhad for patiently answering every question in detail. Thank you, sir. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Jnana Saravanan, Dean Placement, Francis Xavier Engineering College, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. In the rapidly evolving field of international education, the contribution of USIEF through Education USA plays a vital role. For that, I thank, on behalf of Francis Xavier Engineering College, I thank USIEF and Education USA for arranging this wonderful opportunity for our students. And it's my honor, more than a pleasure, to thank Mr. Shanti Mohan ma'am, Advisor Education USA, USIEF, our guest of honor, giving endless contribution towards the society through this USIEF. Ma'am, today you gave a wonderful inputs on how to apply for higher studies education in US and the importance, eligibility exams and application package and the procedures for student visa application. Really, it is a wonderful session from your contribution, ma'am. And you are a very respectable personality for your efforts. Thank you very much, ma'am. You gave a clear idea about the things in a step-by-step way. It's my great pleasure to give my thanks to ma'am also. Next, I'm very much pleased to give my thanks to Sri Kumar Panyam sir, Director India Operations from Illinois Institute of Technology. Today we gathered many things, sir. We are very happy to see your proud alumni list, and we are very fortunate to have the list. And we are very fortunate to have you in this session. Thank you very much, sir. We came to know that you are a multifaceted personality and society needs, and you helped several peoples, and it's really honor to us to have you here for this session, sir. Next, I am pleased to thank the distinguished guest, Mr. Prahlad, who was honored with his presence today as chief guest. You are a highly respectable person in the society and well known for your accomplishments and achievements. And today you shared the exposure for choosing the program. Instead of other things, give importance for the exposure and diversity while selecting the course. It's an eye-opening session to our students. So I thank you very much, sir. And next, it's my pleasure to extend my cheerful thanks to our General Manager Development, Dr. Jaykumar sir, who is the backbone of our institution and who arranged this webinar for the welfare of our own students. Thank you very much, Jaykumar sir. Next, I thank our AGM, Mr. Krishna Kumar sir, and our Principal, Dr. V. Velmurugan sir, our Campus Manager, Mr. Saharia sir, and MT professors, heads of departments, and the professors, and the organizing team, Shala ma'am, Pradeep sir, and Stanley sir, and all our colleague members for organizing this webinar in a smooth way. Finally, I thank our friends from final year and pre-final year. They make this session as an interactive session, and all your presence make us very happy. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, our team members. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for hosting us. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Francis Xavier Engineering College, Vannapet, Tirunelveli, is one of the best autonomous NBA accredited institutions in Tamil Nadu. The college is awarded with gold category by AICTE CII survey for 2 consecutive years. FX provides holistic education and enhanced skill training to make its students industry ready. Unbeatable placement record, cutting-edge research, state-of-the-art applied labs are the hallmark of FX Easy.
Francis Xavier Engineering College. Welcome.